Hi, welcome back to the Infinite Lifetime Sutra. I'm your host Angelina. Okay, so last episode we were talking about the Buddha emitting light from his body, and then Venerable Ananda saw, wow, glorious lights, and so he was asking the Buddha, wow, Buddha, today you have splendid lights. So, what are you? It is something that is connected to all the Buddhas in the entire universe. So are you thinking of the past Buddha or the present Buddha? What is it that you're thinking about, Lord Buddha? Okay, so we continue with what we are doing. So the Buddha was saying, oh, marvelous, Ananda, you can, what you're doing now, asking this question, is actually going to benefit everyone. Okay, everyone in the universe, in for the future, because everyone in the future will become a Buddha because of this very question that led to our Infinite Lifetime Sutra. Infinite Lifetime Sutra exclusively promotes Amitabha's Pure Land. Okay, so that is why it is invaluable. Right, so we shall continue. Okay, 阿难，如来以无尽大悲，敬爱三界，所以出行于世，光禅道教，欲成群门，会以真实之力，难知难见。若有昙花，悉有出现。如今所闻，多所饶遗。安能当知，如来正觉，其志难量，无有障碍，能于念境，诸无量一切，生及诸根，无有正见。所以者何？如来定慧，就畅无极，于一切法，而得最生自在故。阿难谛听，善思念之，吾当为汝分别解说。Okay, so this one actually, the entire parts that I read just now actually completes our chapter 3. So that's why today we are going to complete chapter 3. Okay, when we are talking about this, this is actually our Lord Gautama Buddha addressing Venerable Ananda. Anand is Venerable Ananda. So he was saying that the compassion, the limitless compassion that our Buddhas have goes beyond the three worlds, okay? And because of this compassion, the Buddha has only one ultimate goal, the objective. The objective is to enable all of us to become a Buddha. Okay, to dispel our ignorance, to be able to transcend and to become the Buddha that we once were. So that's why they come down all the way. After becoming a Buddha, if we're talking about mundane terms, right, you're already up there. You have no obligation to actually come down to do things for anybody anymore. Right, but they still do. They tirelessly come down, just like our mentors, our those people who share the expertise of the field to the younger generation. That kind of teachings, and they are more selfless. All right, because to them they have nothing else to gain from it. Okay, it's different from economic practice. Okay, because there are some who has some economic interests, in which, if let's say, if they are paid to impart knowledge to others, okay, as a mentor, a paid mentor, or even a paid consultant, or even a paid something, okay, the knowledge that they impart may not actually be as 100% perfect as what the Buddha imparts. Okay, the the things that they impart may actually be only the practices based on their past experience, which may or may not be relevant anymore to the present situation in the current world. But the wisdom that the Lord Buddha imparts transcends the past, the present, and the future. Okay, because we're talking about the universal truth. When it is the universal truth, it does not uh, it it stands the test of time. Anytime you test it, it is still the same thing because it is the reality, that universal, that truth, that is not due to any circumstances. It's just that. It's just there. It's just as is. Okay, so not like if you were to look back at the previous just give an example. Okay, if we were to compare an industry, let's talk about maybe an um okay, like now I'm in the education industry. If in the past, if you say that you can actually do remote education, okay, before COVID, okay, shut before the world lockdown to battle COVID as a pandemic, remote studying is like, something special, something that is unique, a unique value proposition in which that you'll have your freedom to choose when you want to study. You'll have your freedom of your own pace to complete your education. You'll have your freedom for everything. Okay, but after the pandemic, okay, all this online remote learning, okay, remote education has become a norm instead of something special. Okay, because you just can't expect, um, when people can see that work that it can be done from the comfort of home, people start to think, wow, I'll be able to spend less on building faculties, okay, creating rooms, having buildings, okay, because everything can be done on the cloud with a server, right? Same goes for others, okay, other industry. When you're talking about like advertising industry, my ex-boss, my master for advertising, okay, he teaches me a lot of things. So before the pandemic, we all were in this small uh little cozy little office. Usually he'll get double story homes, okay, um terrace, no, double story, double story, semi or even terrace, okay, because you only need to have some office space, tables, long tables with computers, and then storage spaces for the props and everything, and an office for himself, an office for the designers, and during the pandemic when it's all shut down, they were working from home and they actually still delivered, okay. the In fact, the response rate by his team was much higher because they were, at the comfort of their home. They feel good working from home. And so after the pandemic, the world opened, he has an even smaller office, just an office space, okay, for them in case they need to group together. But otherwise, the entire office had a consensus that they should all work from home. So he happily let them all work from home. And if you were to look at all the other, even for manufacturing, there are those who goes on hybrid, right? So they can actually, you know, work hybrid. Sometimes, if necessary, they'll be in the office, but other times they can still be working from the comfort of their own home. Okay, and they still deliver. Okay, projects still go on. So it changes the entire evaluation of an employee. All right, whether you want the person to be like clocking in and out at the specific time, and then you judge the employee's absenteeism rate or whatever, and yet when the person is in the office, it doesn't not necessarily mean the person is performing at the job, right? You just see the person there. But when it's on remote, then it is all project based. And so when it's project based, people are actually working towards a project during the time when they are supposed to be working, without the distraction of having to meet up with colleagues and things like that. So a lot of things change. Okay, the entire mechanism of the work itself has already changed. Okay, so the relevance is actually depending on the situation itself. Okay, but the core of it is still work, right? So when we're talking about still work, each work is actually still based on project. If you were to look at it very carefully, even those like the HR functions of payroll and everything, every month you have a project which is to ensure that the employees get paid at the correct time, okay, on a timely manner. And if you fail on a project, it means that you did not um, pay the employee at the correct time. Okay, maybe you made some mistake in your payroll. So actually every single thing is a project based. Okay, so if you're able to manage the project and you're able to communicate and collaborate with people around you, it does not really matter whether it's going to be a remote or it's going to be an office job. All right, so the core is there, and the rest of it are just the dynamics, okay, of how to operate it. It can be interchanged. So what we know, what we learn in this world, the mundane world, the knowledge that we have, the worldly knowledge that we have, I won't even call it wisdom. Okay, because the worldly knowledge that we have is either you work remote or you work on site, okay, that kind of thing, right? But if you were to look at the fundamentals of it, it will all go back to that core, that main objective, okay, to deliver. So Allah Gautama Buddha and all the Buddhas, right? Their core is there. Their cores don't change. The universal truth don't change, and they have discovered, or rather, they have re-encountered. Okay, I will see it as a re-encounter because originally we are all the Buddhas. We are also the Buddhas, except that one ignorance, one single ignorance, our own stupidity. Okay, it creates the entire universes because of that single ignorance. Okay, everything around us is actually based on how we have conjured, how the entire world has been created. All right, so because of this happening, right, the Buddhas actually intentionally come down to help those whose karma is ripe. Okay, the events can fall together the moment that the karma is ripe. Sometimes when I look around and I do get, angel numbers, and then a lot of time when I'm frustrated, they will tell me trust in the timing of the universe. Okay, I do trust in the timing of the universe, except that sometimes it's so frustrating, when things aren't happening the way that that it can benefit everyone if some things happen sooner. But trust the timings of the universe. Things will happen, but some things will have to happen first. You know, just trust the universe entirely. Live your life to the arrangements of Amitabha, to the arrangements of the Buddha. They are the perfect ones, okay? It's not us. We can think and we can plot and we can plan, but if the timing is not right, it does not happen, okay? So, the when it is meant to happen, you don't even think about it, you don't even plot about it, it will happen, okay? Because the universe is such. And since the universe is such, then why do you want to fret over all these things? Okay, you just leave it all to the Buddhas. Whichever Buddha that you believe in, it can be you are still believing in Lord Gautama Buddha. Okay, I still believe in Lord Gautama Buddha, but I believe in him collectively together with all the other Buddhas, especially Lord Amitabha Buddha. Okay, because Lord Amitabha Buddha is the Buddhas of all the Buddhas, 佛中之王, the king of all the Buddhas. Okay, not because he's king as the pioneer of Buddhas, no, not because of that, but because his wish, okay, his manifestation, his ability to become a Buddha, reaching Buddhahood, Okay, each Buddha has their own wishes. Each Buddha creates their own world. Okay, like Amitabha Buddha creates the Pure Land. Lord Gautama Buddha created our this world. And so when Lord Gautama Buddha and all the other Buddhas, when they create the world, they have um all have the higher beings and lower beings. Okay, there was this differentiation. Okay, differentiation because they understand that it's all about karma. It's all because of, we have to go through all the six realms of existence, the four realms, the 10 worlds. Okay, 6 plus 4 is 10 worlds, and then going beyond that, then we become the Buddha, things like this. So they in their mind, this is how it will be categorized as. So there'll always be the higher ones and the lower ones. But when you reach Pure Land, Amitabha's Pure Land, Amitabha has used his karmic powers, okay, his position as the Buddha, to create everything equal. Okay, we look exactly the same as him. Okay, even though our karmas are different, we learn exactly the same things, like his wisdom. He imparts 100% everything. Okay, just like all the other Buddhas, they will impart 100% of everything that they know, so that we are able to understand and to be able to achieve our Buddhahood as soon as possible. Okay, but I can say that it's as soon as possible. That also depends firstly on your karma. Okay, the things that you encounter, and then everything that you encounter, there are two choices: either you let go, or either you stay adamant. Okay, if you stay adamant, that means you are actually still holding on to the worldly view. You have not seen through, you have not let go, and so you cannot become the Buddha. So you have to go through the circle again and again and again, until one day you decided to let it go, right? So in Amitabha's Pure Land, it is different because of his um, ability. Okay, he maximized the use of his ability by having the 48 vows, and everyone looks the same. Everyone is equal in terms of all the um, miracles that we can perform. For example, the moment that you go there, when your lotus flower opens, you are already at the Patiputsa, the 8th level Bodhisattva. Okay, and you can manifest yourself into many bodies, and to at the same time simultaneously listen to all the teachings in all the Buddha worlds. Okay, you can just go there without even needing a vehicle. You think of it, you will reach there. Okay, and a lot of other benefits. Okay, the 48 vows, we're going to look at it later in the sutra. Okay, as we go along. So based on this itself, how did they have all these abilities? Okay, all these specialties of wisdom. Okay, the Buddhas, how did they have all this wisdom? They have all this wisdom by letting go. Okay, the first instant, by letting go of all the things that we have learned in this mundane world. They understood, okay, what the world really is. Okay, they understood the entire universe. They know what it is. Okay, they know what the entire universe is made from. They can see the beginning of the universe. They knew the beginning of the universe. They can see it with their own eyes. They witness it with their own eyes, even if they are found in different eras. But then, okay, we cannot, because we are subject to the birth and death, and we still hold on to this body with the birth and death. So that's why we are too stubborn to see beyond. Okay, it's like if you were to put somebody, a designer, you ask them to be creative, but they are stuck inside the box. So every time people will say that, think outside the box. Okay, think outside the box, meaning that you have to transcend beyond what you already know. Go look around, go study around, go get ideas from outside. But then for the Buddhas, they don't even have a box. That box is broken. So everything is just there, reflected as is. It's as if you put all your documents in front of you. Okay, then you will see, oh, I have all these things. Or you just spread all your money on the table. Then you think, okay, This is all I have. That's it. Okay. So even the universe, the moment you know what it is about the universe, then you'll also be saying, it's just like this. That's it. Okay, so we have been stupid for so many aeons, right? Like now that I'm become a Buddha, come, let's go and teach other people so that they become Buddhas too. Okay, and stop all the delusional thoughts, stop all the illusions we have put upon ourselves. Okay, so that's what they are interested in. Okay, so Ananda, Ananda made this um question, okay, ask this question to our Lord Buddha. So that's why it triggered this very uh, event or opportunity for our Lord Gautama Buddha to share about Pure Land, to share about Amitabha Buddha. So in the 48 vows of the Amitabha Buddha as well, it is such that, you know, one of the vows says that if you were to chant Amitabha wholeheartedly for just 10 times, okay, you will be able to uh, gain audience with Amitabha Buddha at the moment of your death. Okay, so at the moment of death, it's very important that you have people with wisdom around you. Okay, because at the moment of death, a lot of those who have studied about metaphysics or studied about um, rights, about death itself, the paranormal aspects of death. Okay, a lot of times when you see, there are those people who, I think it is normal for people to cry at another person's deathbed, right? So in the past, you'll have all these people where they say that you have to get all your relatives crowded by your bedside, and then after that they'll start crying, please don't go, please don't go. But it's time for them to go. Okay, time was actually right for them to go. So when they go, you crying like this, their soul leave their body, but their soul cannot re-enter the body, and they linger. Okay, but as in any world, there are rules. They can't just be there. Okay, after they have escaped from their body, they need to be there. Will, if you were to look at the so-called folklore, especially when it comes to death, right, you will see in the Chinese traditions there will be the horse and the ox face, the cow and the horse, human bodies, but then their heads are either the horse or the ox or the cow. Okay, also cow is up to you. No tao mami. So they will drag this soul to the court of hell. Okay, for them to be judged, and then you will hear some of the scarier stories about the, you know, Chinese traditions. After like 7 days or after 49 days, after 7 days itself, then they have this all this nice food that the deceased like to eat when he was alive, put it on the table, because it's believed that the seventh night the deceased will come back to visit the living people. And then there were those who will put flour on the floor to track the footprints, and then there is also those who claim that they can hear chains, the sound of chains at that certain time. Okay, when the dead relatives are supposed to have come back to pay a visit. Okay, those chains, why was there those with chains and those without chains? Okay, so those with chains, presumably they are chained like prisoners when they go down there, okay, by the horse and that ox guy. So that's why when they're walking, it's like they're dragging the chains along on the floor, so you hear the rattling of the chains. Or if you're not in the Taoist tradition or the Chinese culture beliefs, then you can actually see Oh, he cannot float up to the light because he still has unfinished business on earth. Okay, that sort of thing. Okay, all these things, they are I won't say that they are fake. Okay, because there are truths to it. There are truths because if the world is actually based on how our thoughts are, if we leave the body and yet we still have thoughts for the living, then we don't leave the body. We still think that we are who we were when we still had the body. Okay, we cannot let go. So that is the problem when people don't let go. Okay, so they're stuck. We're stuck with what we thought are real things in this world. Okay, and yet those who have transcended, the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, the great bodhisattvas especially, they have transcended and they see that, oh, poor people, okay, poor silly kids of you and me, okay, poor kids, they're still holding on to all these things, talking about earning a living, talking about money, talking about all kinds of things just to stay relevant in this world. Okay, but the actual truth is that if you are tired of all this working, if you are tired of all this living, of all this rat race and everything, the moment you let go, okay, the moment you let go, you discover that if, let's say, you need the money will come to you. All right, if you need the help will come to you. I'm not advocating for joblessness, okay, but I'm just advocating that you don't need to scheme and lie and steal from others, because what you will get, you will definitely get. Okay, you don't need to like do all kinds of way to sabotage another person or another colleague, or scheme cunning ways to cheat your client with additional profits for your own pockets and things like this. You don't need to. Seriously, you don't need to. You just, you know, lead it naturally. If you are not ambitious enough to think about becoming a Buddha, you just think about, oh, I just want to lead my life peacefully for the rest of my life. I just want to continue being human. Then you follow the five precepts. Okay, that's a prerequisite to become a human in your next life even. So you follow five precepts, and then after that you do all kinds of good things. If your merits are actually more than just your five precepts, then you have a good chance of being reborn in the heavenly worlds, things like that. So you just lead your life. You don't scheme, you don't cheat, you don't lie to other people just for the sake of the money. The money will come to you eventually, regardless, okay, of how other people try to do bad things to you. You don't even need to put in that much effort. Okay, you just have to do your part and do it well. Okay, and by doing your part, I mean honest work. Okay, don't have to scheme against people, don't have to think of how to push other people down. Okay, I was just speaking to one of the professors that day. We were just talking about some characters of certain people, right? So he was telling me that, yeah, there are always those people who are, they are not anything better than other people. In fact, other people may actually be better than them, but they will try to, you know scheme and step on other people, trying to push down other people, degrading other people, thinking that by degrading other people, the other person will be down there, and they feel that they have elevated, but actually they are still there. It's just that they have stepped on other people to try to suppress these other people. They are actually still there. But I continued um with the conversation. I let the professor know. Yeah, and very often, if, let's say, the person being suppressed, it won't remain suppressed forever, because if the person is actually growing, okay, on a trajectory, if you try to suppress, the person will have a spring at the bottom and it will bounce up. Okay, this is what usually happens. You can't suppress a person forever, because what is the spring? Okay, the spring that I'm talking about is not the ability of the person. The spring that I'm talking about is actually the karma of the person. The karma of the person, if let's say this is a good person, the karma itself will help this person like a spring. Okay, shoot this person up beyond that other one who tried to suppress him or her. Okay, so this is how it works, right? Very sometimes it may take a while for these people to be reviewed, those that like to step on other people, or for their karma to arise, that they get kicked out or anything for their toxic behavior. It's because along the way, when they are doing all these things, they are using their past good karma. They're utilizing their past good karma. It's just like your accumulation of your annual leave. Okay, when you have a lot of annual leave, then you'll be able to use them. But the moment when you start to deplete your annual leave, okay, then if you need any more days off, it may actually be an unpaid leave, right? So when it's an unpaid leave, then in work it is a lot easier, it's just unpaid. But then you find that your money will diminish, your salary will be deducted because you're taking unpaid leave. And so the same thing will happen when it comes to karma. Okay, there is always the debit and credit balance. If let's say you have a lot of debit, okay, you add on and on for your merits, the good karma, okay, then the good karma will be able to help you buffer, right? And then if let's say somebody try to suppress you, don't let your good karma surface, but you're accumulating all the good karma. Eventually one day all that good karma will at once just spring, right? And then that other person who was always doing the bad karma would have accumulated and depleted his or her own good karma. And the circumstances is that there is no turn back. Okay, the downfall is imminent. And the growth of this person who's being suppressed, if let's say the merits are being accumulated, instead of scheming and trying to plot against another person, or harming another person, it will actually just allow things to happen. Okay, a person's success will always be a success if the karma is right. Okay, another person, no matter how successful, if let's say you accumulate bad karma, will reach the downfall. Okay, and so, okay, where were we? All right, so the perfection of this yeah, so the perfection of our Buddha's wisdom. Okay, the perfection of our Buddha's wisdom, all of them are actually the same, right? So understanding this is just the same as, like, if let's say you are an adult, okay, you have a little child of 1 year old, and you are teaching the child to eat with a spoon. All along the child was like, grabbing things from the hand. So you are teaching the child to use a spoon, and then you have perfected the skill. So you're teaching the child. Eventually, the child will also learn how to use the spoon, through practice. So the patience of our Buddhas to us, okay, we are just like the kid who does not know how to use the spoon. All right. So they will patiently work with us, help us, teach us, give us opportunity to start using the spoon, and then through practice and rounds and rounds of mistakes or accidents even, right, one day we will get it right. Okay, but the day we get it right is the day when we let go of the idea of picking up food with our fingers, right? If you want to pick up food with your finger and you still want to hold onto the spoon, it's impossible. You cannot do that. Correct not? You need to let go of the spoon, then your finger can grab the food. But if you're holding onto the spoon, you can't use your finger to grab the food, right? So this is how it is about the universal truth. If you keep holding on to your mundane knowledge of this world, you can never grasp the universal truth. If you let go of everything you know about this world, whether it is about power, it's about money, it's about fame, it's about your ego, let it go. You will be able to see the universal truth. Okay, one of the easiest practice is actually when you are sitting there in empty meditation. Okay, not meditate on emptiness. You just sit and look around. Okay, zero thoughts in mind. Just look around and just be at the present. You will notice. Okay, every present moment is just like a photo shoot. Okay, a piece of photograph, and it is a continuous photograph. You will still see it there. You will still see that things move. Okay, if you see it as a reel of video, things move. But if you see it as an individual moment, the things aren't moving. Okay, it is just as is. All right, so not going to be too easy to explain to you about this, because a lot of people, when I try to explain these kind of things, they seem to understand, but a lot of times actually they are still too engrossed with what's going on in this world to actually notice the truth of it. Okay, but a reminder to you and also a reminder to myself, just be an observer. Look and just be at the present. Observe what's going on, right? Let things unfold as the way as it should be. Trust the timing of the universe. Okay, you are already a very fortunate individual, because it is very rare for the Buddha to have this opportunity. Okay, Ananda's question to our Gautama Buddha is really an auspicious one. Okay, it is rare. I will say that there are people who has never who may have never seen the Buddha before. If you were to say impossible, there's the internet and everything. What about the aborigines? Okay, in the forest without access to anything, there are still those without access, right? What about those who, they may see the Buddha, but they just don't know who he is. Some people just jumble up the Buddha with all other deities in Buddhism, in Taoism, and think that it's actually all the same things. It can be like that. Okay, it's just like how Asians see Westerners looking exactly the same. Okay, and how Westerners think that all Asians are all the same as well. Okay, so without that kind of wisdom, so this is that's going to happen to all of us. Okay, we are still confused, we are still not knowing about what's happening in the world. Okay, we will not be able to perceive the actual universal truth if we still hold on. Okay, so we shall continue in the next episode, but do know that your karma, if you're able to watch this video, your karma is excellent. Okay, because it is rare for a person, especially in this era now, to encounter about Amitabha Buddha. Okay, even if you encounter Amitabha Buddha, you hear about the Western Pure Land, you read the sutra, not everyone will believe in it. Okay, you need exceptional great karma to be able to accept this wholeheartedly and to practice towards Pure Land and to join Amitabha within this lifetime itself. Okay, so we shall continue in the next episode with the next chapter of our Infinite Lifetime Sutra. So we shall meet again. Meanwhile, please stay cool. Okay, it's going to be a rainy season. I think it's going to rain for the next entire week. So please take good care and chant Amitabha. Okay, Amitabha. See you. Bye bye.